Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's another day, a Monday. TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday. Let's get rolling along here. Markets are lifting up. We got Mercury finishing off its retrograde tomorrow. I don't know if that's how that plays out. You know, there's always those astrological things that people look at and so forth. We have the currency still down, but they're trying to turn a little bit here this morning. Let's take a look at them. Let's shrink that off like so. That is the New Zealand against the dollar. You can see that's trying to lift up a little bit. And then the Swiss, you see Swiss is trying to generate a down candle right there. They've moved this stuff into the weekly buy here on, I guess this one just missed it last week right there. But it picked it up this week. And so whereas like Canadian has been in the weekly buy for like a couple weeks, and the euro has been. Matter of fact, I saw somebody say something about the euro. You just take a quick look. You know, they were like, "Oh yes, it's bouncing," and I'm thinking to myself, "Well, maybe more like a dead cat bounce." That's what I was thinking. You know, maybe some profit taking. I mean, that's usually the name of the game. The objective is to you buy or sell something, and then you make money from it, and then you take some of the profits. Sometimes it's a tad confusing. People end up just dragging something. They don't know how to get out of it. They are just locked into it until they find themselves losing money, and then they want to know why they don't make money in trading. We've always mentioned that here is that it's important to take a profit. And so we'll see how this bounce goes, if it really means a lot. In the case of, you can see the weekly here, let's see if we can contract that a little bit to see it better. Right now, it's got a little work to do to get that rolling along. It's not always perfect. We're 8.5 out of 10 times right, so there's a 1.5 out of 10 chance that it's going to bounce up and take off and come right back up to here again. I kind of doubt that at the moment. Let's see, what else do we have? And the reason why I doubt it, of course, is I just follow the math. The answer is follow the quants. And you can see if we can get into a daily buy, then I'll be more concerned about the upside. And this, you can see it here on J4X, right here. You see that it is trying to roll over. In this case here, you know, it always lags a little bit on using this particular indicator, but it's better than any other combination of indicators I've seen in the public arena. So that's why it's always good we keep the J4X up there, showing you that you can develop a decent trading system off of this. It's just a little under 70% as accurate as my math. So it's 30% behind me, but that's a lot better than if you're staring at MACD and moving averages and all that other stuff that is so far behind. Whereas the slow and fast moving stochastic battling with each other, and the Hinky-Ashi on the bars give you that flavor of our dots, and give you a flavor of our gas line 3, moving up, and that's the name of the game there. Hey 47, how you doing? Can we look at, oh sure, let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like there. GBP, JPY. That should be interesting this morning, because I saw where the yen is moving against the dollar into the sell side, so that's kind of interesting. And you can see here, this is bouncing up, right there on the daily. We went into the weekly sell last week. Let's put that line in there, right there, and you can see. Let's make this tighter, because it's probably an interesting little bounce going on there at the moment. Yeah, see, look at that. That's interesting. It's trying to make its little bounce up there. We'll see. I think it's more of a profit-taking thing. Only the math will tell in the end. Right now, definitely, if you've been short from here through Doc's numbers, you should be taking some profits here, even with this action right now, and put a stop in there so that you lock in profits. And worst case scenario is lock in profits. You don't go out of business by locking in profits. All right, let's check out the hourly. I think we look at it more we can look at it in an hourly, and we can look at it in the daily. Let me move this off like that for a second, and let's go and, do we have it in here? There it is right there. That's the 30-minute that we've been watching. When you look at it, and you can see here, it had bottomed out, I guess towards the Swiss Open, was it? No, yeah, right towards the Swiss London Open this morning. They did the bottoming right there. You can see there's a little hesitation at the moment, but still moving up. And then let's take a look at it on an hourly basis versus the 30-minute basis. All right. I'm just going to put 60 minutes in there instead. That's just as good, I'm sure. Like that. And so on the hourly basis, you can see the same situation. It was about an hour later. Is that it right there? No, 2 hours later from the London Open and the Swiss Open, it gave you the buy. So the 30-minute seems to be, you can use my math as a primer, like in a mathematical primer. So what happens is that as much as you think the hourly is giving you good direction, it's the half hourly that's obviously much more insightful, because our math is confirming that if you're following the half hour, it's more accurate than the hour. So, that's the way I would roll with this. Because here it took 2 hours before you knew not to, adjust, and so that kind of gives you a warning there. Hey, Alan, how you doing? It's been an awesome trade day so far. Yeah, I mean, there's a bounce going on, which is kind of cool. I mean, they're always fun. We have, the stock indices lifting. They've been battling it out. I understand that Mercury is going to fall out of its retrograde tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Today's the 21st, right? Yeah, so tomorrow. For some of you, it's almost already there. So, as I, look at the market, take a bite of something at the same time, I bet it is a good trading market. I was surprised last night when they took the stock indices down, and then, when I woke up in the middle of the night, they were taking them back up again, and, they don't have a real clear direction. Some of the things that are going on in the market here are very confusing as far as I'm concerned. No problem, 47. Glad you saw that, and take a look at it. Do some research on the way you follow the product. See if the 30-minute helps you out more. It may. At least, it does on our math, So, all right. Let's see now. Where do we go from here? Oh, yeah, so we were looking at I'll just keep on talking and looking at stuff, and then anybody that wants to look at something, just like the way 47 did, we just check it out, see what's going on, see what we all can learn from it. You've been straddling the Euro AUD. Let's check it out. See what the Euro AUD looks like. We do follow that too. We have it on the fact check spreadsheet also. That's line 23, is it? 22. Which is kind of interesting. It's 11 weeks now in a weekly buy, and 4 days in a daily buy. Let's check that thing out. I thought about that when I put those numbers in on Saturday. I was thinking, this thing is something. It's it's the way it's been carrying itself. Let's see, right there it is. And you can see here, we went into the buy back in here in early April, and it has not run that far when you really think about it. I mean, it's gone from the 154, almost 155 area, and it's bounced back and forth down into the low 54s, and then took out the 58s, so it's been an interesting thing, and now I guess it's at the high end of its range. We went into a buy there, a sell there. Let's fill in the dailies there for you. So it went into the sell there, and then let's see, went back into the buy there, and has stayed in the buy. So this is the 5th day now. So, and again, it's got an interesting range. It's going up from 157 to 156, or 155 to 154, or 157 to 158. In this case here now, Friday it made a high of 158.67, And today, and last night it went to 158.67 again, and now it's trading at 158.14, 15 area. You've been straddling that, and it's interesting. How's the options in that? Is it a good option play? You using binaries or options outright, or how you doing that? That's an interesting one. Oh, well, you're not seeing it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't put it up on the screen. There we are. Sorry about that. I just realized I was looking at it down below on a multiple screen on the computer here. So it went into the daily buy here, which was a nice one. It was a good win there. And then it went into the sell and climbed into a buy there, and you actually gave up some of your profits from this move. And then it went into the buy here, and you gave profits up again right there, still giving up some of these profits over here, but still ahead of the curve, And then, let's see, did it do it again? Yeah, then it did it again right here. It went into the buy, and it went right back into the sell again. So like 3 losses in a row. And then it makes it all back on this trade right here again. So, not you were long from the 155 area, and it took you all the way up to the 158 area if you ride the whole thing out. And then, so that's 3 all handles, and then you give up like, where's it, like half a handle here, you give up a full handle here, and you give up a quarter handle there. So it's like you're 2 handles down from the 3 handles made out of that trade, and then it turns around and gives you a handle and a half back that pretty much makes it all back again. That math always does it. Let's see, I've been straddling CFD 10 lots at a time, 12,000 in 6 hours. Let's see, profit. Oh, I see what you mean. You get in it, you get out of it, you get in it, you get out of it, and you're trading the hard delta. Yeah, it's a nice. It seems like a very nice momentum product. It really does. You can see where. Look at the distance between, and it's also a warning here. When you see these buys and sells occurring on top of each other, you know that it's really choppy. In this case here, obviously you're not shorting that. You can't short it because we're in a weekly buy. So at least it keeps you out of that, mistake there, and doesn't allow you to give back all the profits like it did here, where it gave you all the profits. And so you're still ahead of the curve. It's interesting. And then you get, this thing here again. It jumps into gives you a volatility warning here, on the 157 line, basically by the end of the next day, in the high, almost 157.92, makes you long, and it vacillates for a couple of days, but it gets you up to 158.67, almost a full handle. So, Doc, can we see 30-year? Yeah, boy, is that a confusion or what? I mean, we're not even sure anymore how. People are asking that question about what is going on with the interest rates, and no one has an idea of what to deal with it. Here's the 30-year right there. They popped it this morning, and now they're selling it down. A little curious there. It came in the daily buy from Thursday. It's been in a daily buy since Thursday. We're still in a weekly buy. So we're watching that thing do its climb. And then you want to see something really odd. Look at the 10-year. I'm just kind of shaking my head at that. So, it climbs into the buy on Friday, and here it is already down. And that's also in a daily buy. This is the way interest rate products are moving right now are extremely confusing and just don't make any sense. I mean, inflation, not inflation. I don't know how you interpret that. Now let's check out what you were just suggesting is the Japanese yen. There's dollar yen right there. I don't understand what 225 is. Is that like a 225-minute chart you want to see in the Japanese yen, or just to let me know what that Jap 225 is? But you can see here we are flirting with the daily sell today. Still in the weekly buy from the from this was it the 108, 109ish area. They've run it in that weekly buy. You know, you had your big win right there to start off with it. From there to 110.20, you know, and then you get a little sell and then right back into a buy a couple days later, and it does not help you any. It rolls over again, and then you get into a buy here, and it makes any of the money you lost here, and you're obviously keeping this right there, but I mean it makes it all back again, and that's usually the way the math works. Now, in the case of what was very curious is that, where's it at? The Euro AUD really caught my eye there in the sense that you can see here, we went in and out, and there's like 2 losses, like right in a row. I mean, you know, it's like loss, loss, 3 losses in a row, loss. Very, very perplexing to me. But I know that every time I get losses, I find that a buy comes in and makes up all the losses every time. It does that for over 40 years now. It's done that. So, but it's, you know, it's nerve-wracking, and it's not fun, and it's rare for me to see through my math 3 losses in a row. That's very rare to occur. I guess that's why you have 2 fantastic wins out of it, you know, that are, you know, double of what the losses were, and that's usually the way it rolls. Let's see. Stock index. Let's see if we can find the stock index. I have not looked at the Nikkei in a long while. So I know they have the 2 indexes. They have the well, they have a few, I guess. But they have the Nikkei, right? And then you have the Xetra. It's not the Xetra. That's the German one. The Topak? Topak, I think it is. Right? So is that the Topak 225, possibly? Let me see what we can find here for you. Let's see. Okay. Let's find the Topak. I think that's what it is, right? The Topak? Let me just look it up. JPN 225. 225. That's at 28,010. Let's see if I can find that. I guess it's the Nikkei, isn't it? Okay, what is the? Okay, here we go. Is a price-weighted stock market index in Tokyo Stock Exchange measuring the performance of 225 publicly owned Japanese companies. Okay, so maybe the Topak is like a 30 stock index or something like that. I remember there was another one that we used to pay attention to. All right, so let's check that out. I'm going to see if I can find the ETF of that. I think they also have the Nikkei future floating around here somewhere. DE is a symbol. Is it? UTIC. Let's see. DR. No, that's not it. It could be DE. Let's see what that does. UCITS Investment Fund Capital, DE. DE. Let's see if we can get that. Let me put that in and see if I can get that. That'd be neat. It's a 2-letter symbol. That's even better. Boy, I'm sure they've had something around for a long time, too. That's John Deere. Okay, that's not going to work. All right. Let's see. I forgot that. Let me see if we can find a symbol here for you. Let's see. UCITS maybe? Let's see. How about the Nikkei future? Let me see if we can find the Nikkei future. Future symbol. Because that would be more fun. Nikkei 225 future symbol. There's an iShares also out there by BlackRock. Let's see. Why don't they just... Oh, NKD. Let's see what that looks like. NKD. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Oh, there's the future. Okay, cool. So there is a, so we're looking at the SEP future. Okay, there it is, down 180. All right, so let's see if we can put this in. Let's see where we go. Let's put it over into the stock indices side of things. And let's see, right there. We're going to add that, or copy that, and then paste it. And now let's try to slide it in there. I might have to add it, but that's quite all right. Format. Let's see, format. Okay, there it is. Let's see, futures. Add a symbol. Futures again. NKD. Look up. There we go. Let's see what the September contract looks like. There it is right there. Yep, there we go. We got it. This should be very interesting. Oop, sorry, machine. Close. Now, and okay, there it is right there. Look at that. Added it right in, and we're rocking on this thing. Let's see how that looks. This is going to be an insight for all of us. I find this fascinating. Nothing better than that. I love discovery. What's that, 33? Japan 200 plus. Okay. Isn't the Topex like a 30 stock index or something like that? Okay, so here it is. So we can take that, move that there. There's the daily sell right there. So I went into the daily sell right there on the 16th. Went into the buy right there for one day, and it just flipped right over again. It's been in a weekly sell. It was in a weekly buy here, and it closed in a weekly sell last week right there. There we are. And let's see, what else can we say about this thing. Let's scrunch it up so we can see it a little bit more. It's a little bit thinner since it's the new contract. I guess it went into the sell back here in the, what is that area? Like the 29 and change area. Ran up to 29 and a half and then fell down to 27. Interesting. Okay, and then let's widen this out, the daily. See if we can do this, move this up a little bit too for you. Like that. And move that one down a little bit like that. So you can see here, let's see, where to go into the sell. It's a little sloppy because it wasn't the front month contract, but it went into the sell on this point right there at 29,510. And it was in a weekly sell already, so you were short for this move all the way down. So you caught this whole move. That's nice. And then the buy comes in right there. You can't take the long because we're in a weekly sell, but it keeps you, it allows you to, lock in your profits very easily, and it makes the run. Now here's something. It goes into a sell. Let's see, do this. It goes into a sell right there, and they sell it down the next day. So you actually make money on that, and then it goes into a buy there. If you do good money management, you actually made money out of that trade. And again, you can't catch that ride because we're in a weekly sell. And then, let's see, we take this. There's your next sell. You take that short, and it gives you a profit. And it gives you a chance to get out in the whole bit for a couple days. Nothing major there. And then it goes into a buy here. Again, okay, and it goes into a buy there. And you're in a weekly buy now. So you make a little money, and if you put your stop in and protect some of your profits, you break even or make some money. Then it goes into a sell here. Where is it? The sell's right there, but you can't take the sell because you're in a buy. We're in a weekly buy right here. So then it goes the wrong direction too. You can see that, and so you're not getting hurt at all out of that because we're in a weekly buy and you can't take the short. Then it goes into a buy right here, and you lose money, and then it goes into the weekly sell, and this is the action you get out of it. It was very profitable. Right there, and then it goes into the weekly sell by the end of that week, confirming it's trading underneath the number. Oh, no, 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 wait a minute. Yes, no, 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 what's this on the weekly? So the weekly, we're running a gas line 3.5. I wonder if we can just run a gas 3 and turn off that. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. Well, you know what? In a gas 3, it's still long and going into the sell this week. That's what it is. Whereas on the, let's just double check this. Yeah, so the gas line 5 is the one that puts you into the profits on a week-to-week basis. This is the thing to trust more. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that. What we want to do is maybe might want to run a gas line 5 on this thing and not a gas line 3.5 super. It may be that good, you know. Let's see. Moses says, "Hey Doc, please also look at dollar yen." Yeah, let's take a look at dollar yen. But I can do more work on this. We can check out and see if a 5 works better than a 3.5. And check out the beta in it. Let's see. Dollar yen, right there. Dollar yen, it's flirting with the daily sell today. We can throw that red line in there like that. I can get rid of that because we got one up top there. We'll move that over like that. There we are. So it's flirting with that. Went into the daily sell here. Then it went back into a daily buy. And remember, it is in a buy, and you lose money on that trade right there. No doubt about it. And then it goes back into the sell the next day. Let's see what that is. That is in the plus, right? Yep. So it's the 2 days later. Goes into the sell there, and instantly jumps right back into a daily buy. Is it 1 day or 2 again? Right there. No, you got 2 volatility. Let's just double check this too. Change the indicator there. We've been maintaining these dots. We've noticed that their inputs are wrong. They're 1 tick beyond. Say okay, and then that one. Okay, and close. There we are. Let's see how that goes. Let's refresh that. Reload. There we are. So it goes into the daily buy back here. Let's see, there's your sell. There's your buy. Actually, your buy is the day before that. The buy is right there. There it is. Okay. Just like this one is, I think. Let's see. Let's just double check that. No, it's yeah, that's the buy right there. So there's the and it's playing with the sell here, but look, you can see the weekly's holding up pretty well in here right now. They put a tail on that. It's a hangman or something like that, right? And so there's where that is at. Now 33. Do you see the? Let's go back to that chart there for you. Just I didn't answer you, but there's the Nikkei for you. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Okay, that's fine then. All right, perfect. All right, so there's the Nikkei and there is the yen, and they are interesting markets, both of them. You know, I mean, Bank of Japan seems to be doing what the Federal Reserve is talking about doing. So that's kind of interesting, you know. The Bank of Japan about 6-7 months ago declared that they were going to start paying interest again on money, whereas they were forcing people to pay to own. You had to pay interest to own the Japanese bonds. Now that doesn't. I don't think they're doing that anymore. And in the case of the Federal Reserve, they're talking about raising rates, or they're talking about. That's what it is. They're not talking about raising rates, but they're talking about raising rates. However you want to interpret that, it's an insanity in its own right. But anyway, that's where they're at on that. Now this here, you know, looking at the Nikkei, I am very curious. It looks like the 5 could be way more insightful. You know, it would have put it into the buy right here. The weekly buy would have gone in right here, and you would have caught that move up. And at the same time, then you finally go into a weekly sell here. And so, you would have been, when it goes into a daily sell, it's really hard because this is the new contract. So, but in the end result is that you can see here it catches it perfectly. So, I'm really thinking that the 5 may be the better way of following this thing. Well, we might just do that and make this invisible and make that invisible for the moment, like that. And that is, and that's really the winner right there. We can make that a line for the moment. But that's impressive. If we make that a line, you can see how it makes it through the 0 lines, and then it goes into the short here, giving you a warning, this whole thing, that it wants to break down. And I think that's probably the best thing about this this product, is that it probably looks better because of the beta of the indice itself, that it actually functions like that off of the 5, much better. So it goes into the weekly buy there. Is it right there? Yeah, right there. And then goes into the weekly sell back here, like that. So, it sets it up perfectly all the way around. And then you can see here, it jumped into the weekly buy for this little move here. And last week it pushed itself into the sell, so you'd been short for this coming in for this morning. Let's see, Alan says, 47 says DAX. Okay, so we'll go check out DAX. And let me just see what Alan said too. Please look at crude please. AUD dollar from iron price fell, affecting the 1.2 billion option for, okay, interesting. 10 a.m. New York will be interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's go look at the DAX again. Where's that at? I think I have the stock. I have the ETF. We have a problem trading the futures here in the States. It's for some reason something about the accounting. And you know what? The German accounting is better than the American accounting, but the Securities Exchange Commission doesn't like it. They're a pain in the neck like that. So here, let's take a look at the DAX on the ETF. We can get away with the ETF, supposedly. And right there. So now this is the gas line 5. So this is interesting. It runs the gas line 5 nicely. It didn't make it into the sell here, but it did on Friday. Right there. No, that's odd, isn't it? So let's see if we can get a better feed on that. What's going on here? Let's see, settings. It should be updating right now. Let's see, where is it at? Let's try default and see what it does there. Because it should be ticking away right now. They've been trading it in the electronic market for a half hour now. Format. Let's try this again. In the pre-market, let's see if we can get that. Pre-markets have been really odd lately. They've not really updated very well. Nothing there. And that's Friday. I mean, it went into the daily sell on this one, so we can put that in. So it's been in the daily sell, but the weekly, it didn't close in a weekly sell until Friday. Let's see, what do I want to do here? What I want to do is I want to put it in. I'm going to put it into my regular sheet so I can see if they're trading it at the moment. You know what? They're giving me a futures contract. Let me see if they'll give me that futures contract. They're giving me a futures contract. I can't tell. It says DTB. I don't know if it's delayed or what, but let's see if we can get this. Let me go over to the futures side here. Let's see if we can get this as a futures contract. That would be really great if we could. Let's see, so activate, copy, paste. Let's see what this does. Let's see if we can get the DAX here on a futures contract. That'd be a lot more fun. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We're going like this. Instrument. DAX. Not found. Okay. Now how come I can see it? DTB maybe? Let's try that. DTB. Futures. DTB. See what that does. Nah. Now why am I'm getting a DAX. They're giving me a DAX that's trading at 15,528 with a 31 offer. And prices are changing on it, but I'm not sure why I'm not getting. Let's see now. Oh, I see. It's not Globex. That's why. Okay, so let me see if I can find it in. See, they're not giving it to us. They won't give us the quotes. They're showing me the action in it out of Europe, but they're not allowing us to trade it. That's what the problem is. So let's go back to the close. Let's. We're not getting an update right now on the ETF. Let me see what's going on here. Let me just see if we can do that. DAX. Index. Where can we get the stock? Okay, so right now the stock settled at 33.79. They're giving me a 33 bid at 45. So they're not even trading the product, which seems odd to me. Now I have the futures contract trading at 31 to 34. So they're giving me some type of feed on the futures contract. Maybe I'm allowed to trade it, but I don't understand. See, DAX September at DT. Let me try that. Let me see what happens when I do this. Let's see if it does something like, makes it more accessible to us. So if I go like that and hit at DTB. Let's see what that does. At DTB. Nah, it won't give me that either. Very strange. Very, very strange. How about indice? See if I can find that. Add. Index. At DTB. No, it won't give me the indice either. So it won't give me the future, won't give me the indice. The only thing we're stuck with, traders, is, close. The only thing we're stuck with is the ETF. That's all we can see is the ETF here. Let's go. Let me just see what's going on here. If I've doubled them, yeah, they have. So I'll just activate this and delete it like that. And then so the only DAX we can really see right now is this one right here. And they're not trading it. They're showing a 33 bid. Where is it? You can see it there yourself. 33 bid at 45, and the last was on Friday of 33.93, and they're not showing us anything else. Let's see. So that was the DAX. Okay, so Alan says, please look at AUD. Okay, so let's go to AUD. Let's see where we're at. There is AUD. Yeah. I mean, we went into the daily sell here, and we were in a weekly sell, so you couldn't take, well, there was no buy there. It's been in the daily sell now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, going on a 9th day. You can see a little bounce going on there for the moment. What else can we say about that? You can see we've been in a weekly sell for, okay, what happened? We went into a weekly buy right there, didn't we? And then we went right back into the weekly sell the week before. So that's been 2 weeks in a weekly sell also. So you only could start to trade it short from here, or I guess that week, because it was weak all week long underneath the weekly sell number. So it was a little bit more nervous type of trade, that's for sure. And this is a 3.5 too. Let's see what this is doing. Ah, okay, now I get it. All right, so that not that. So this one right here. So this is the 3-5. And so the black histogram is the 1, plot 1 of 3, and the white is plot 4 of 3, and the green, you're not even seeing this. Here, let's show you what the green is doing. This is the plot 5. So let's see how this moves. There we are. Matter of fact, maybe we should go to reverse of all this, but let's make it the blue so you can see it a little bit better, like that. So the 5 jumped into the buy. Did we go? What happened here? Yeah, so the 5 is better on this. Look at that. The 5 jumped into the weekly buy a week ahead of time. So back in here. And then off of that. And then it went into a weekly sell right here a week earlier, I think. Let's see. 5 is, that's plot 6. So that's minus 39. So that they were both, see how plot 1 was 0.00007, plot 4 was 0.00014, and plot 6 was 0.00039. So they were all there, and then this week they all joined into the sell, and then this never happened. The buy never happened here with the plot 5. That's what's going on there. So this might be a better product followed through the 5 than the beta may have changed since the last time I paid attention to this stuff. You can see here, it broke into the weekly sell a week ahead of time, back here, right there. So it puts you in the weekly sell there for that whole move down. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to start paying attention to the, so I'm going to make that invisible, and what we're going to do is we're going to make that a histogram, like that, and then make that invisible, and do that. So I don't really get a chance to tighten these things up all the time because no one's really paying attention to them. But of late, you know what? We have a client using this product. And you know what? We have another client using the AUD Japanese yen. I'm going to have to take a look at the plot 5. That's why I was saying you can use the gas lines as a primer mathematically. I mean, if it's successful on these numbers, then you know to follow them through those numbers. Let's see. Let's see. It's called option. Let's see. So Moses says. Let's see what Moses says. Moses says, "Is it a call option, Alan?" Oh, okay. He's checking out what's going on the expiration. Interesting. Alan, what is that all about? Yeah, tell us. You said the iron prices. What do they do? Do they do a Monday morning like they do with crude oil at 10:30 New York time on crude on Wednesdays? Are they doing that same type of thing with iron ore? Is that what they do? Ah, okay. You're saying that there's a big option that expires today? Interesting. It's an over-the-counter, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go back to where we are right now to see how it's affecting things. So, well, one thing's for sure, it's been rolling over pretty hard, you know? I mean, what is that, 7 days? 6 days? Where is that? It's line 14? 6 days in a sell. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8 days in a sell. This thing's been rolling over for a while. Let me check something out, what we're sending over to our client. Let's tighten that up. Okay, so there's Canadian, and there is the AUD right there. Oh yeah, so it's been in the sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th day, so this is 8 days. And on the fact check spreadsheet, we have it up there as 6. Let's see, where's that at? That's line 14. So let's fix that. It's 8. No, that's euro. Oh, all right. No, I looked at the wrong thing. Okay, so it's updated correctly. So it is set on 8. So today's going on the 9th day. All right, now let's go over to price action showing a call option above 0.75. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're looking at the price of the product and what strike price they're locking it at. That makes sense. Okay, and then 33 says, thanks a lot. Have you got a shorter term option on FTSE? Let's take a look at FTSE. Yeah, we look at the ETF on that. I wonder if we can get the future on that. I'm going to try to plug in the future just to see what goes with that. Because I really, when people ask about these, when traders ask about these particular products, I would love to have something more up to date than just an ETF. FTSE, enter. It gave me a ton of stuff. FTSE, I mean, it gave me a ton. All right, let's try this. Cancel. Let's try it one more time. FT. Let's see what happens when I just go FT. Franklin Universal Trust. No, that didn't work. How about FT 100? FT 100. Let's see what happens when I do that. That gives me. Oh, wait a minute. We got something here. But they're all stocks. And you know what? It's probably on the London Futures Exchange. Because, oh, wait a minute. We got something here. Now that's an over-the-counter thing. FTSE 100 stock indice OTC. Option index. No, that's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Oh, wait a minute. We got something here. A FTSE dividend index. FTSE Euro Top 100. FTSE 100. ICEEU. Nah, it's not giving us a futures contract. Darn. What was this? Got something here. Future index. Yeah, but it's not tied to any exchanges that I can tap into. Wait a minute. We got something here. NASDAQ? 100 after hour indicator. FTSE NASDAQ 100 Tech IV. Let's see if I can do this. Nah, won't let me tap into it. Oh well. All right. Well, we tried. So what we have is this one here, the ETF, the EZU. And let's see if they're updating this thing. Settings. Yeah, see, we have it set on the pre-market, but it's just not giving it to us. Let me just put it in there. I want to see what the symbol's doing. Well, actually, we can see what it's doing right up top here. So you can see here it's 49.50 bid at 49.55. So it's up just from the bid 15 cents. So, but it just hasn't made a trade yet. So when it makes its trade, it's going to show us there. Let's see. 33 says you guys call it ZZZZ. Yeah. I do that just so I can find it it's just that's me saving it in a image, so I can send it out. That's what that is. Yeah. So here I'll show you. Here I'll show you what I mean. So when I go to save this data, let's see. Let's see how we do this. Okay. So when I go to save this data and I go save image as a file, and then what I do is let's see if I can do this. There you go. I have them all filed away, so there it is right there. I just throw all those Z's in there so I know where it's at. We have Coinbase that way too. And then I have tags, 5 Z's. What's that? That's coffee, 5 Z's, and then we soybeans November, 4 Z's, so I don't get tangled up with July beans, that type of thing. And then December soy meal versus July soy meal right here. And that's why those Z's are there. And there's October hogs versus August hogs right there. So that's what that's all about. Let me move that out of the way. There we are. Okay, there we go. Let's see, what else is there? I know we were looking at something else. Iron ore, China, so market reacted negative to iron ore and AUD. Is that what that is? So if and you said that they locked it in at a 75 strike price. So let's again look at this AUD. Where's it at? Right there. There you go. So it's trading at, now why don't we have why aren't the prices on the right side of it? Let's look at it here. Yeah, there it is. They're right there. Yeah, so there you go. You're looking at that 75, right? Where is it at? Right here. So you're figuring that they're locking it in at a 75 strike price or 75.25 strike price. You know, something like that. I see what you're talking about. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Did I answer everybody's question? Let's see. Alan says price action showing a call option of above 75. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Have you got a shorter term opinion on FTSE? Well, you know, let's go back to the FTSE, and just the fact that it's been in a daily sell for 3 days, and it's been in a weekly sell for 1 week. It seems, I noticed, I have an interpretation I've been reading. In other words, look how well it did. It goes into the weekly buy back here in the middle of March or the beginning of March, and let's look at, say, the S&P 500, or let's say, yeah, there's the S&P 500 right there in the stock indice. You see it goes into the weekly buy at the, what is that, right there, 1 week before that, right there. So that's the end of March. I found it interesting that I've seen, like, the FTSE seems to be much more firmer, less choppy. Compared to, say, the U.S. stock indice. Now let's take a look at the Qs. The NASDAQ 100, or Dukascopy refers to it, and Europe does, and we used to, as the Tech 100. And you can see that goes into the weekly buy. Well, there's the 5. So the 5 goes into the weekly buy at the last week of March. But it does seem like in some ways the FTSE is leading these things. That's my short-term opinion about it. I think about it because it smooths it out better, So let's see. FTSE had a great retrace today and now moving further down. Okay, and so in the States here, let's see. Let's go back to it. In the States here, they're actually quoting it with let's see, where's it at? There it is, right there. So let's give it a refresh. And right there, you can see, they may have made a trade there now, didn't they? It's 52 bid at 57. So have they done that? No, they haven't. They have not made the trade there yet. They're not showing it. But it had settled on Friday at, what was that, 21. So they're bidding it up here in the States this morning. You see that? They're bidding it up. So I'm not sure what that is. If it's a desperation of shorts trying to cover. So you're saying it had a great retracement today and now moving further down, whereas in the States here they're bidding it up still. And so that bid is live. In other words, matter of fact, there you go. You see how they just moved the offer to 58. So they're actually bidding this thing up a little bit. No one's making a trade at the moment, but there are people out there actually bidding for this product at 53, and that's 32 cents higher. So they're not doing the retracement. I would say that I would have to believe that the futures contract in London has to be very insightful. I just notice when I follow the EZU, it seems to have some insight better than the opposite. It's not lagging. I find it to be leading, which does not surprise me much, because there's a lot of funds in London that are a little bit more smarter than some of the funds here in the States. So that's my shorter term opinion about it all. So on the London Open, it opened down and then rallied up, right? Or no, it did the reverse, you're saying. It opened up and is selling down. And here in the States, they're reaching for the ETF. You know what? We have 4 more minutes before New York opens up. I'm going to run the webinar into the first minute. Let's see what the FTSE does. Let's see how the FTSE reacts. in 3.5 minutes. It'll be very interesting to see if it joins in with the future and they bang, like now, there you go. Notice now they're moving the offer down. Now it's a 55 offer at a 52 bid. And then they're showing, like I said, that rallied up. Oh, so in London it rallied up. All right, that makes more sense because that's what the ETF is doing here in the States. It's showing buyers, not sellers. So FTSE had a great retrace today and now moving further down. So you mean it bounced up and right now the futures is heading down? Or is it rallied up? Where's the futures right now? Is it higher than the Friday close? Because we're not getting a quote. I can get a DAX quote, which is kind of interesting. They're giving me a DAX quote, but they won't give me a FTSE quote. Yeah, we'll just stick around and watch this. Anybody want to see anything else while we're waiting for this? Oh, let's take a look at Turkish lira. We didn't see that. Let's do a quick look at Turkish lira. I think it closed in a weekly and daily buy last week. Okay, yeah, and it's banging against the little yellow dots again, like we talked about last week. And then let's see what else we got going on here. We got Canadian, which Canadian, they're trying to sell it down a little bit there, but still in the weekly buy. Let's see what else. Let's see. Oh, what was that other one we've been looking at lately? The euro against the Canadian. Let's see if we can find that. Euro against Canadian. Oh, and let's, you know what? Let's do this too. Let's take a look at euro against the Turkish lira. So it tried to fall into a sell on Friday, but failed at it because we got a red and a green. It dipped underneath. You can see it's a minus 0.0052, but it's still back up. So it stayed in the buy there, and you can see that we closed in a weekly buy there too. So we're back into the weekly buy at the same time. We got about a minute and a half before they start trading it in New York. Let's see we'll see how they get it rolling along there in the FTSE contract. Okay, so it is up. All right, so then that's not so it's up in New York and up in London. Okay, so we're not being tricked by anything going on there then. Let me just go back to that. Where's that at? So we can do this. We'll close that, and then we'll take a look at this again. Here it is. Yeah, see now it's 54 at 56. It's tightening up. Now it's 53 at 56. With about 40 seconds to go. Let's see how this. So it's matching London now. So the ETF is up, and the London futures contract is up. So okay, that's a lot better there. We got 26 seconds. Let's see what that looks like, and then we'll cut out. I just want to see how they open it up, and you'll see it right here on the chart too at the same time. Okay, 10 seconds. Let's see. And it's opened in New York, and let's see what they do. Let's give this a reload. Nothing so far. There we go. Something's brewing. Now it's 55 at 56, 1 penny wide. That makes sense. But no one's made a trade yet. I don't understand that. What is the amount? Okay, now look at the weekly. Now the weekly has already started setting itself up. There you go. Okay. So you can see here, there's your gap. That's that strength you saw. You can see that the gas line 3 is trying to turn up. It's playing with the bottom part of the time manifold. And you can see the weekly is just a little bit higher on a curve. Just trying to, I just read them. I read them like that. What's the poker players say? Read the cards and weep. I just read them and see how they go. But one thing is for sure, I have found, looking at, now that we have a client looking at this, I have found the FTSE to be more of a leading index than a lagging index. So in other words, once FTSE started to lift in London, don't be surprised that the U.S. indices start to follow somewhere later on. That doesn't surprise me any. All right, traders, we're out of here. Catch you on Tuesday. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Catch you later, traders. Arrivederci.